Hello everyone, I am the Griff, and today we're doing a KSP tutorial on how to build a properly staged rocket. Something I physically know Callum can't do. So this is the main rocket body. We're going to fire this into space, but we need some boosters. So I'm going to use the KW Rocketry Maverick engines for a start. This is just going to be all 7 engines firing at the same time. A base kind of experiment. So this gets quite far, it goes quite fast as well. I only just realised that it gets some re-entry effects on the way up while watching this. So this is, there you go, some re-entry effects. This gets up to a good old speed and surprisingly nearing 15G. But up it goes, we stop, we kind of see, and when it starts to fall it reaches 662,000 meters. This one is staged, so the 6 outer rockets go off first, and then when they are finished the middle one will go off and those will separate. So these are going up at quite a high speed. This has got less thrust than the first one did at first, but this will then go off to have far more thrust because it actually has thrust. Here we go. So now we're using the actual rocket body to get into an even higher orbit. We're in space now, so the G's stopped. I didn't plan this very well, so I was expecting these rockets to go up like, at a certain height, nearing like 1,000,000 meters, but I've managed to get this kind of maybe horribly far. This is going 4 kilometers a second, so I time warp until we're like a day out on this one, and see that it gets into quite a big old orbit. This one, on the other hand, is fuel lines, all 7 engines going at the same time, but fuel lines leading into the central engine. So the central engine will always have full fuel, whereas the others drop off about now, and this one still has fuel. This one theoretically should go further, and I think it does if you look at the orbit at the end of this, but this one does go quite a lot faster and further than the previous one, because it had that extra boost at the start. See, it is now out of fuel, so we zoom out and you see it goes into a little bit of a bigger orbit. So we time warp for about 6 days out this time. You see 13 million meters, or 1300 million meters, whatever it is. This is what is known as asparagus staging, where A leads into B, leads into C, leads into the central one. So those 2 go off first, and we have 5 fully fueled rockets going quite quickly, and then the next 3. The way this works is the further up you go, the more fuel efficient the rocket is, because it has less weight and more rocket power. And this one goes very, very far, and we're already pretty much out of the atmosphere, and we're still on the last rocket. So we have a full rocket out of the atmosphere, and this thing does go all the way to I think 16 million meters, if I can remember rightly. I recall this about a day ago, so I can't really remember. But you go 5,000 meters a second. We get out over here, we accelerate, there we go. If I just check, it's something like, there, 30 million. So it's about the same, but it just looks better. This is the example of using asparagus staging in a much bigger way. This rocket I take to the moon, I'll show you all the way there in 4 times acceleration, because it's screw watching a 20-minute thing in normal speed. Oh, that sky looks really weird. So off we go, we get quite high with the 5 main rockets. So the first stage drops very quickly on asparagus stage rockets, and the second stage will also drop quite quickly. But the third stage, this, will last quite a long time. And I get this into, I was planning just to do what I did with the other rockets, and just send it up straight, but I decided not to. So we're going over there to the moon in the top corner. So off we go. Get into I think I tried for 100 orbit, but I kind of screw it up a few times. So I decided to just go for what I get, which is a 93. This thing is a horrible thing to try and steer whilst it's like not got any engines on, because it only has the torque for that. This is where I decide, screw it, I'm gonna go to the moon. So I do. Just wait until we go round the planet, 4 times at 4 times acceleration, because you know that's easy. And you see how slow this thing moves, even at 4 times acceleration. So I put the engine on so I can actually steer it in time for the burn. So we get there, yep, me pointing out that the moon is there. And engine's almost overheating, I didn't realise that when I was recording. Oh, there we go. And there we go, we're on our way to the moon. So I time accelerate there, and realise, oh shit, don't have a periapse. So I make one, and then get into an orbit. So an easy way to get into orbit of the moon, use asparagus staging of massive rockets. Something else that I'll point out that Callum cannot do yet. So, as we get into our orbit, there we have it, and I thank you very much for watching.